Welcome to More Than Just a Veteran podcast. Don't forget to like the page.
Welcome to More Than Just a Veteran podcast. More Than Just a Veteran seeks to share empowering real-life accounts from our beloved military men and women. Our mission is to pay them the utmost respect for their sacrifices through our podcast and heroic stories. We don't want to send the MP to your barracks, so go ahead and click subscribe to our channel on the double.
I didn't mention this to you before, but when I came home from the war, I was 20 years old. On the train ride, just before, I've been discharged, I'm going home now for good. I asked myself, well, now, what's it going to be? And what I remember, what I'm referring to is that when I was a kid growing up in our neighborhood, there were 3 or 4 guys who were World War I veterans who had come home, shell shock, nightmares, and personality changes that beat up their kids, and so on and so on. And that stuck with me. And when I came home, I looked in the mirror and talked to myself in my mother's house. I said, listen, you are not going to be one of these guys that have back flashes. You can take all this stuff for cutting people in half with a machine gun and put it back in and lock the door. You can't forget it, but you can isolate it for a while and maybe time. And that's exactly what I did. I was very successful with it. I didn't join the VFW. I didn't join the American Legion. I didn't attend any meetings, or military, anything. And I said to myself, you're no longer a soldier, you're an educator now. You're a school teacher, and as a school teacher, you can devote your life to education. And that's exactly what I did. I did nothing military. But this incident that I'm telling you about now, when I meet this French woman, she said, they want to honor you. She said they have never forgotten the 101st Airborne Division. There are monuments to you all over town. She said, every year on the anniversary, that's December 16th, all the men and women both put on American uniforms with the Screaming Eagle patch. They reenact the battle, make the speeches, they have dinners, they have all honoring there's so few of you left. They want to honor you. You should go back. And I said, no, I don't want to go back. But my daughter was with me at that time. And she shamed me by saying, Pop, listen, if nothing else, we should go back to the cemetery and pay our respects to where your buddies are all buried.
Right.
And that got me. And I said, yeah, I guess we should do that. And my whole life changed. With that decision to go back, my whole life changed. Because when I went back, I accidentally, in a shop, we meet this guy, a big Dutch paratroop officer, and his name is Marco Killian. He's now my best friend in Europe. He and his wife, Marion, and when they found out that I was a World War II veteran with the 1st Airborne Division that I fought in Belgium, in Bastogne, they took me in and they showed me things. And the next time I visited, he took me out and showed me my foxhole where I was studying.
Unbelievable.
I couldn't believe it. You got to figure, you're 85 years old, and somebody is saying to you, where you're standing right now, 72 years ago, you were a 19-year-old kid with a machine gun waiting for the first German attack.
Yeah.
Fell apart. Everything that I put back here came back and hit me in the face. I even heard the artillery again, the noise. Got emotional. My daughter pulled me aside and said, Marco, listen, my father's seen enough. Let's go back, and we'll come back another time. And on the way back to town, I asked the 2 guys if I could take them to lunch. He said yes. And at lunch, I ordered 3 bottles of wine. I said, I don't like mood. I mean, I got to change the mood. We got to feel better. And as you can well imagine, you put 3 soldiers and 3 bottles of wine together. We started, we're in the dining room of the hotel. Fancy. And I, excuse me a minute. At any rate, they started telling stories. Johnny Boner is telling them stories about Belgian tanks. Marco is talking about he fought in Bosnia and in Iraq with the Dutch army and so on and so on. And when it came my turn, I started telling them the beer story that I told you before. While I'm telling the story, they're going, You were the GI who brought beer in the church? So you brought beer in your helmet and you were feeding the guys and the wounded men with the beer in the church? I said, yeah. They said, man, don't you know you're famous in Europe? I said, what the hell are you talking about? Said, waiter, come here. Bring us 4 bottles of Airborne Beer. So the waiter comes back, and on a tray, he's got 4 bottles of beer and 4 little ceramic bowls in the shape of a GI helmet that they serve it in. It says Airborne. And the label on the bottle of beer shows an American paratrooper with a helmet full of beer going like this. They said, nobody thought that was a true story. We can't believe it. It is a true story. Everybody thought that was just one of the World War II myths, And they said, but it is true. And the guy did it standing right here in front of us. I said, yeah, maybe I should get a cut on the beer, right? And they said, no, well, but they gave me 6 bottles of beer to take home. And when I got home, I got a call from our statewide newspaper, the Journal Register here in Illinois. And they said, hey, we heard a story. Can we come interview you? I said, yeah. And so they came with a photographer, and the reporter got the story. The photographer took a picture of me at the table there with the 6 bottles of beer in front with a label showing the beer story. And the next day, they put it in the newspaper on the front page. Somebody took it from the newspaper and put it on the internet. Overnight. Yeah. Even today, I am more famous for what I did with the helmet full of beer than what I did with my machine gun.
That's great.
Everybody wants to hear. I got 1 million medals. I got 2 Bronze Stars, 2 Purple Hearts. I got the French Legion of Honor, the Belgian. What does anybody? Then tell us the beer story.
Yeah. For those of us that are not military, that are civilians, what can we do to honor the World War II history?
Teach it to the young. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, the schools are not doing it anymore.
Yep.
The young people don't have a clue. Some of them, when I go speaking to the school, you ask them about World War II, and they say, oh, yeah. Was that 1812? No. Texas and the Mexican border, right? And I say, no, what about Europe? Oh, yeah. That was the Nazis, huh? Yeah. And they did pretty good, huh? Yeah. In other words, they showed a total ignorance, not even of the event, but the meaning is much more important. What would have happened if we hadn't stopped? You realize that crazy no good set the whole world on fire. It cost us trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars in property that was on, and over 50 million people dead, soldiers and civilians.
Wow.
And if you don't know those stories and you don't know why we had to fight and how we fought and how many people we lost fighting, you can't really appreciate America. And you need to appreciate America if you want to live here. Otherwise, they're going to take it away from you, as they're trying to do now.
Yeah.
Put groups together and discuss it. Invite a veteran over to talk to you and talk to people. I go around, I talk to church groups and political groups and so on. And anybody who can put 40, 50 people together at a meeting and who are interested in knowing what tour was all about, at least one piece of it in one small town, one small section, but it was typical of the rest of the war. And so,
wow.
Do you have any other questions?
No, sir. I appreciate so much you coming on the show, and we want to thank you so much for coming today, and let us never forget that freedom is not free. God bless you, sir, and thank you so much for your service, and especially thank you from the bottom of my heart for your time today. I so appreciate it.
Okay, thank
All
you,
right.
and good day.
More Than Just a Veteran is currently seeking heroic veteran stories to share. Like us on Facebook and Instagram at More Than Just a Veteran. God bless you all, and let us never forget that freedom is not free. This podcast is dedicated to the beloved CW03 Lionel W. Lanou, laid to rest at Arlington National Cemetery, Arlington, Virginia.